On 1st of January 2018, the riots took place at Koregaon. However, certain things happened in Vadhu on 28th of December, which led to unrest in that area, and that's the reason this village Vadhu is important. On December 28th, 2017, a board of distorted history and report was uh, put up at the village Vadhu. Now, what was written on that board? It was written that Sambhaji Maharaj's funeral was done by a person named Govind Gopal, and no Sardar, no Maratha Sardar was ready to do it because of fear of Aurangzeb, and that's the reason. Because nobody was daring to do it, just one person named Govind Gopal, he did it, and his samadhi is constructed at village Vadhu. So that was the board all about. Now, why it is being called as distorted history? So let us understand that first. So this particular samadhi, which is called as Govind Gopal Samadhi, this samadhi was constructed at that location few years back. Earlier, there was no such samadhi existing at that location. When I went there on 1st of January and I was interviewing people there, that time the lady whose house is just next to that samadhi, she told me that few people from some places in Maharashtra visited there, and those people told them that Govind Gopal was the person who actually did all these funerals, who ensured the last rites of Sambhaji Maharaj, and that samadhi was constructed. Second thing is, if you see the construction of that samadhi, it is not that old kind of construction, it is that recent construction done with cement. Another thing is, on that samadhi, a word is written, Govind Gopal, that is written in Marathi. If it is old samadhi, that word could not have been in Marathi. There is evidence available that that particular samadhi was not there earlier. It was just constructed 3 years back. And even about this last rites of Sambhaji Maharaj and this Govind Gopal doing his last rites. So there are no historical evidence, there is no historical evidence available to prove that particular thing. So because of that, the people there, they objected to this board. And another thing is, it was projected that this Govind Gopal was a Mahar, and his family members, they constructed that samadhi. So there are people by the surname Gaikwad, they stay there at Vadhu. So few people from that Gaikwad family, they kind of put up this board and they wrote all these things on this board. So there is no historical evidence, that is one. Second thing is, this samadhi was just constructed 3 years back, and they are propagating that history that it was something which was present there or which has been there for years or for generations. So there is, even that particular samadhi is not part of the Gram Panchayat record either. If there are some historical monuments which are there in any village, then it should be part of that Gram Panchayat record. If that samadhi was there earlier, it could have been part of the Gram Panchayat record. This distortion caused conflict in that area. Another thing is, it kind of became a caste related concern also. Why it became a caste related concern? Because the people who put up that board, they belong to Mahar community, and other people who were opposing that board, they most of them were from Maratha community. However, the people who were opposing this board were not just from Maratha community, they were from different castes, and they were saying that there is no such evidence and this particular history is baseless history and that is being propagated and that is causing a problem in our village from last 3 years. That was the background. That was the beginning of the unrest in a way. Later on I think 29, by 29, 30th of December, this fight was resolved by police. So at Vadu, the problem was resolved at least for some time. However, on 1st of January, what happened is, in the morning, few people, they gathered at this Vadu village. Now, why did they gather? So when we interviewed people, so different people gave us different reasons. Some of them said that some messages were being circulated on social media that this Sambhaji Maharaj's Samadhi may be damaged. So they came there for that reason. Some people said that on 1st of January every year in the it is beginning of the year, so they generally visit that Samadhi, so they came there. So there were different versions of this sort. Now, when people gathered at this Vadhu Budruk village, police bandobast was already there. There was a very heavy police deployment at this place. When people were gathering there, police just asked them to move from that place. So there were people with saffron flags at this location. So police asked them to go from that place. So nothing happened at Vadhu Budruk village. So the people who came to Sambhaji Maharaj's Samadhi, they started walking towards Koregaon Bhima. They walked all these 3 kilometers towards Koregaon Bhima. Now it is important to understand, or there are a few questions which needs to be answered. That one thing is, when these hundreds of people gathered at Vadhu Budruk village, when they're walking towards Koregaon Bhima village, the police could have stopped them, but the police did not stop them. Because generally it happens that in such a situation, police generally either ask those, they kind of take them in the vehicle and take them somewhere, or keep them with in the police station for some time so that things cool down. So that thing did not happen here. So this group walked from Vadhu Budruk to Koregaon Bhima, this 3 kilometers distance, which you can see here. So they walked from here and they came here. Now the thing is, when this group was walking towards this place, on this road, generally this Ahmednagar road is packed on 1st of January. Let us now understand the background of this Jaistam and the celebrations there. So this Koregaon Bhima battle, which took place in the year 1818, it was between British and Marathas, the Maratha army. When I'm using the word Maratha here, that means the Maratha army. So this battle was between British and Maratha army, and Peshwas were the prime minister of Marathas. So Peshwas were fighting that battle on behalf of Marathas. It was not even a very big battle. It was a skirmish. That is what the historians say. It was projected over the years by few people and few groups that this particular battle was between two castes, but that was not the reality. Why I can say confidently that it was not a battle between two castes the way it was projected? Because people were projecting that the Mahar, the community, they fought from the British side, and the Marathas or the Peshwas fought from the Maratha side. That is how it was projected. Another thing which was repeatedly projected on social media, different messages were being floated, was that it was a caste rivalry or it was a revenge based on caste, which is not true. Why it is not true? Because from the British side, it is not just the Mahar community which fought. There are historical evidences available. And one important thing is the person who is who was given the responsibility of taking care of this Jaistam, he himself does not belong to Mahar community, he belongs to the Maratha caste. So that itself is an evidence and a very prominent evidence that from the British side, it is not that just Mahar community fought. Secondly, from both the sides, there were people from different castes. So the way it was projected that it was a Brahman versus Mahar kind of battle, it was not. Another thing is there is a list of people who were martyred in that battle. So that list is written on the Koregaon Bhima Jaistam. In that list also, there are names of people from different castes. It is not just from Mahar community. So that itself is an evidence that from the British side, it is not that the just Mahar community fought. It was a combination of different castes from both the sides. So it was not at all a battle between two castes that we need to understand. Second thing is, in the year 1927, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar visited this place, Koregaon Bhima. Now, why did he visit? The reason he visited that place is because that time British took a decision to discontinue recruitment of Mahar soldiers into British army. Why they discontinued it? Because they decided or they declared that Mahar community is not a martial race, and that's the reason they took that decision. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was against that decision and he wanted to uh, pass that message that Mahar community is a community of courage and valor, and their courage was proven earlier in different battles. And with that intention, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar visited this place in 1927. There are references available wherein he mentioned that the courage and the valor of the Mahar community is really praiseworthy. However, they fought for British is not a matter of pride. So he very categorically, very clearly said this, that yes, we appreciate the courage and the valor, but they fought for British is not a good thing according to him. This is a pamphlet by Republican Panther in the year 2015. This pamphlet was distributed at Koregaon Bhima only near the Jaistam on 1st of January 2015, and the pamphlet said that आजच्या पेशवाईशी मुकाबला करण्यासाठी कंबर कसूया. That means let us get ready to fight with today's Peshwai. Now, what is the meaning of this word today's Peshwai, or what is the context? So Peshwas were Brahman by caste. So this particular pamphlet is calling the government that time, that was like in state and center, it was BJP. So according to them, it is a Brahmanical government. Now, why they want to project it that way? Because they wanted to project, or they wanted to create that caste based thought process, and that's the reason it was projected this way. Now let us understand one thing, that in a democratic setup, people from different castes and different religions, they vote, and even the representatives, they are from different caste and different religion. In such a situation, why a particular government is being projected as a government of only one caste? That is because it is to influence the casteist thoughts in people's mind.